Hello guys, this is Sphinx again, who's actually got a capture card, but not the Chat Link Pro. I'm about to stream today at 6:15 EST. At the time, 3:15 PST, 6:15 EST. I'm mostly gonna be streaming probably for about 4 hours since I have nothing else planned today. I got done with all my dailies that I need to get done with for the most part. And I also am going to be probably streaming like this, probably Life next day, so I'm taking a few days off from Master Duel until about probably Saturday, just so I can get some videos out, maybe question mark, what I feel like. And other than that, we'll get straight into deck. My deck isn't that much difference from last time. The only difference is I'm running Link Spider, mostly so it has something to go into for my trap card for this monster spell about the Knights of Shade, so I have some tech options to go into if I need to go into a Link. Or pretty much to actually proc some skills that I might need, but I'm not completely sure yet. Other than that, I don't feel it's worth it for a moment to just wave, though, but I'm just testing out the waters, mind you. There might be some generics below, but I'm just taking the budget right now until I get some feedback, some stuff like crafting Lord of the Heavenly Prison for Traptrix, 1 to 2 copies, since I can afford making 2 right now, since I have no other plans. Other than that, let's straight into the matches. Oh, and people also apparently can't read. Sadly, pretty much, there isn't much matches today, unlike normally, just because there wasn't a lot, but also because I'm also trying to get much of my dailies done as possible at the same time. So sadly, I haven't gone talked. We're facing a Blue Dice deck that is utilizing Sword Soul, technically, Asian, with the Nebulas and the Chaos, which is surprising. The only surprising thing is them running this many cards. They're also running Jet Sneaker on. Effect earlier, Dragon I understand because of Sage Ice Blues. I would technically run one more of Whitestone Legends versus Jet Synchron. I feel like since it's just a brick for the whole deck. While pretty much you can't summon one card being Whitestone or this or Whitestone Ancients, I feel like that card is just completely vanilla. I feel like for the deck, there is better options. I feel like to go into Tunalize, but that's just me. Overall, the Ghost Ogre, Sword Souls being pretty much sore. I'm actually surprised I don't have crafted 3 copies of this or this. I'm actually more surprised at 2 yay. But I'm not that surprised since they're not running much worms the whole deck. Outside of being about 4, 5, 6 worm monsters and yeah, just 6 worm monsters, so I'm surprised about that, and all of them being Sorcerer as well, so I'm not that surprised. You better off focus make a deck. Dictating, I'm not really that surprised about. I'm more surprised only running 1 should when it should be running at least 2 or 3 personally for the don't break. I'm not surprised that I'm running 2 Nebulas. I would do 3 personally. I feel like for the deck. Maybe, but 2 is fine because of the mostly format. But Jet, I'm not surprised about. Darkness Metal Dragon, not surprised about. Chaos's Max is the strangest part. I did not know where the heck they can actually do specials. I'm not surprised by Mirror Force, Lost Wind, I'm not surprised. Import, I'm not surprised about. Waking the Dragon the other is the tech option, which I hate. In the sense of facing wise, because Waking the Dragon, as you know, is probably the most broken card for most formats, especially in this format, where pretty much if you destroy the back row for this card, they get a special 1 card for an extra deck, or the deck. So essentially, it's a really hard card. Next up, Necro Fusion, which is essentially. It's just a substitute fusion mostly, but that's the worst fusion actually deutilize, except for like facing. Also, sorry about that. I lost my step. So I'm not surprised about. Renew all the overworld. Hold on. Oh, okay. So basically, Renew the World is essentially the ritual out, but you need to bash the monster. It has to be proccing on the field to actually send it to grave. But that's the end of place turn, so that's whatever. Crackdown, activate or target one face monster potentials. I'm not surprised by that, but it also can have everyday effects, which Traptrix can work around. Trap Light, it's not surprising. Tyrant, on the other hand, I did not know where they can actually get the fusion in a way outside of Necrofusion. It's vanilla. Guardian Chimera, I'm not surprised about. So, only difference is it's not really that much. Socials being Grandmaster, not surprising. Azurai, Spirits, Baron, Niron alongside Cypher Blade, and the tech option chain Heart Earth, pretty much. Next up, Cypher Blade, Link Ribbo, Heretic, and the Monster Killer. That's probably the best generic you are, technically. Alphalus, the Bow, Garnis. Now, let's get to the match. I'll be honest, this match was a little bit back and forth because of how bad I bricked Ephemeral rate. I don't really recall. Oh yeah, just because I had Traptrix Tono. Traptrix mostly Tono, I mostly was adding my traps, set them, go into Link, go into... Also, it was also at this point I remember, I think I didn't put it in it yet. Yeah, I got rid of Barland because of it. I started going to Xyz, being Traptrix Ruffius. My opponent was doing Sorcel, and I was like, I could turn it here. Activate some cards. I decided to negate Gravitational Shrapnel, mostly so they can't add a specific one. Next up, mostly said one monster. I shot the back row. I was like, it could be anything I could be dealing with. Essentially, I sent it to go activate another Gravetaker, so mostly negate it. Since they had to discard one card, I had to deal with one out last twice gain since that matchup. But I still had an out. Set one trap. Go into Traptrix Slurry. Technically, I only realized that here I could have FTK, but this thing would have still vanished to me, so it would have mattered. Essentially, I got rid of all of our monsters myself. For here, it's essentially just brick. Everyone bricked, and I had an out for most of my stuff. To go into Link Rebo, which is whatever. I was on a timer 20 turns at that point in my mind. I don't like it. Also, this is another reason why I did it, is so that I don't brick with Parallel Exceed. They essentially went to normal tribute, which I'm not surprised about. What I was worried about was chaos, actually, so I decided to banish it and destroy it. Ash would have been brick. I wish I had a monster. But it was also my perfect defense here, since I have something to work with. Defense-wise, to stall. The next one I got my out being Traptrix. I decided to activate his effect, mostly banish. Destroy. Go into Traptrix 3. Parallel C happens. Go special on one more. Go into Link being Time Thief Redoer. My opponent just crit there. Since I finally had an out and I can actually go for one more monster if I felt like it, but I can only do one more Traptrix overall, but they would have still had a chance. I don't know. The connection of field happened, but I'm pretty sure I would have won that. Do you remember the Pale deck I was actually mentioning before? Well, apparently it's just a repeat of this with some Rise to File Height, which just doubles a monster defense, installing. I'd say a lot of pails. And the people don't effing read. But they're also utilizing a lot more generics outside the pale monsters, which is good. They're also running toads. And also Blade Jack Knight, which is our right card. Overall, also running, I'm also more surprised they're not running evenly matched, but I'm not surprised about Lord of the Heavenly Prison, which I'm considering at this point. Overall, let's get straight into the match. This won't take that long, I think. Overall, my hand was alright. I had Max C to work with. I should have Max C there, but I was like, overall, I only would have got one monster, so overall, the Max C is worth. I would have gotten at least one value, but that's about it. I did start one card in my hand, but apparently I'm Traptrix. I was like, what the heck are they doing here? The next time I was like, oh, trap cards reveals. Go into Link. Go into Traptrix Serie. Go into Foundationize, activate it. My opponent also activated with a card. Essentially go Traptrix Marie. I was like, what the heck is the point of that card? I should have gone to Link though, but I wouldn't have time. Send that trap by sent. Don't to the Seas either way. Onto Link, actually. My bad. Lost one happened. Turn in. I essentially went to Tactics away. Go into this. Go into that. Destroy. And excellently, my opponent just crits here. Since they're bricked really bad. Overall, also they realized that this deck can't be red. Apparently, since most of my links, most of the Traptrix monsters outside the main monsters and the Seas ones can't be. The only Traptrix monsters that actually are not affected by traps are pretty much just Traptrix Mollis, who's not affected by traps, but it's also the only thing I don't have. Well, most of them are blanked, but next deck matchup was one I was surprised about, but was really a mix of Exodia and Exodia cards. Using Rival Jam, using Watt Spirit, which I guess makes a sense. Since it actually helps. Raw's Disciple, not surprising. Holding Hands is not that surprising for me. Since they can actually makes everything useful, especially against traps. Play Actor Slime, not surprising. Mahad, not surprising, but more surprised they don't add a Dark Magician because of its effect. 3 just cards, 3 Exodia, the Incarnate, Legend Incarnate. 3 Exodia's Ultimate Forbidden one, but that one's just more of a blank personally. It's possible to win with it, but tricky as heck. Stone Pedal, which is not surprising to me. Yeah, that card's more blank, but Green Dragon overall, Spearmount is not surprising me. Guardian Slime is not shocking since most people run that. Sophia is the more techy one, I feel like. Since they're technically just relying on your opponent to having the Synchroing Seas monsters. Personally, Q&A to Chain, Metamorph is not surprising in mind. Metamorph makes sense more to actually get use of Zoe's Ultimate Forbidden one, I feel like. But you need 2 of them equipped. Skull Dice not shocking. Fairy's Hand Mirror. Personally, that card is probably the worst card to put in there since it's a brick this whole festival. Since your opponent needs to activate a spell outside the puzzle cards, there's not much to work with. Now, Healer is not surprising, but personally, you're better off pretty much making one specific Magician card deck. Rope of Life is not surprising. Of course, Chorus makes sense since they're running so many same cards. Multiplex Slime is not surprising. Obliterate is not surprising. Alternate Divine Beast, on the other hand, was the one thing I was surprised I actually didn't think it was a Master Duel. Next up, just Magician Slime. Not shocking to me. I think I bricked here, but I know there was at least one day of recording that I bricked hard. I think somewhere. I just don't know specifically know where. Overall, oh yeah, I did break in the sense that I had this to work with, and I just set a whole bunch of cards. I had it out pretty much for almost everything they had. I essentially rather than the raw disciple here, so I'm gonna try to get rid of it all, so I can at least get everything out. I can make them decked in, true, but it's still an out. And got curious. I was surprised, but I was like, "What the heck am I facing here? What the heck is all these tech and stuff?" Obliterate was odd. I don't really remember what the heck I was even doing here. Like, I was thinking I was going to Link Spider, but they're thinking I'm just going to Link or such. But it would have been pointless. I need to look for something that's more generic. This card is more so I can actually get something in my grave. Skull dice. Mostly, pretty much, I was waiting until I get some bricks, so I decided I might as well plate them out. Go to my proper Link array. The Paralysis activate skill. Plus someone for the deck. Go into Xyz. Since I do not know what I'm dealing with, I could be dealing Exodia. Set one trap, send that to a. Set one trap pull, a better one. I was like, am I dealing with some mixed piece or something? They should have sent the great defense. I think I just found where I actually left off the recording by accident. I realized I accidentally resumed. And I'm also make up for it, and I do not feel like looking for everything again. What was the last thing I realized? I don't remember now. Break up trouble, yep. I would need about 2 so that break trouble will at least would do something. Since it's not unfed by traps, well, has it? Oh, okay. Okay, because Raphael is pretty much targeting itself using the break off. That's what ended up happening. Essentially, I was surprised about them utilizing that card. Also, they could just, oh, I don't know, allow me to re-add my monster to back to my hand instead of just targeting them. Essentially, just getting bricks time hand. You also need to resume. Or if this is kind of bad, it's just because I'm actually staying. Remember? Or well, it's gonna take a little bit longer than I want to. Overall, I got Surrey, I got one more combo piece that I can utilize for next turn. Too bad, pretty much actually I don't have Mummy in my grave. I need an out to extend my plays and go into more links for his matchup. I said once I figured out Exodia, once I know they had that trap in hand. I was more curious what the last card in hand was. If it was anything decent, overall it would have been different. Overall, most people just start reading the cards. They should have just added to my cards, but also making me at add Ash to my hand, thinking pretty much I'm going to link easily. Yeah, it's just making me so half harder for next turn. Actually, when I actually got an actual monster segment and send it all from the hand to the grave. Overall, that's the video. Hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving. When day at the time the day before releasing my time. Bye. Bye.